This video is sponsored by BJJ Mental Models. Without a doubt, Romulo Barral is a legend of the sport, winning several IBJJF World Championships.
Romulo takes the goal for the medium heavy, and he's going to give Tarsus a ride around the ring.
And even a prestigious ADCC title in 2013. Facing off against several rivals that you might even recognize. Guys like Marcelo Garcia, Hadra Gracie, Andre Galvao, and many others, while pioneering several of the techniques that we use today. And in this video, I hope to show not only how Romulo innovated BJJ, but also how his winning mindset still influences generations of grapplers. So let's dive in. We can't talk about Romulo without bringing up the spider guard that he developed. The traditional spider guard looks a little like this, with both feet on the biceps, and works really great for off-balancing opponents, and for attacking with the triangle and omoplata. But what the Romulo guard does, yeah, Romulo's guard is actually named after himself, combines the versatility of the spider guard, and adds in a more complex posture control system. Look at these clips to see how Romulo gets into the Romulo guard.
God, you really can't give him the tiniest bit of space.
No, you cannot. He's so fast and throwing the legs by. There's the lapel grip. This is where I think Romulo's guard is best.
Unique to Romulo is his consistency in sticking to his grips. That means that his right hand always controls the sleeve for the spider hook, while his left hand stays on the collar. And the important detail here is that you don't want to stay right in front of your opponent, but instead use your legs to shrimp away while extending your spider hook leg. With an added benefit that you don't need to be tall to play this game, like some other open guards, which also makes it one of my preferred go-tos, and its adaptability is truly unmatched. He can play this guard with the lapel, he can play it with the tricep grip or the belt grip, and he can play it sitting up or even seated. The greatest thing about Romulo's guard is his ability to pull the opponent forward with what I like to call a kick under. Usually he'll do this by bringing his free leg to the mat between his opponent's legs, and this will put him in line to enter into the X guards, where he can stay in the single leg X guard or move on to the full X guard, giving him many great options for sweeps like these ones. The Romulo guard is also a strong attacking position where your opponent goes to hold your belt or your collar. This time, use your free leg to lasso under their arm, where you can go for a kick under or even the triangle omoplata combo. And the free leg isn't just for lassoing, it can also be used in the de la Hiva, the shin, pulling into the half guard, and my favorite, when the opponent tries to pass opposite of the spider hook for the knee on belly, allowing you to sweep backwards or transition into the 50-50, like this. And worst case, you miss your attack, just reset. And I almost forgot the coolest move, this armbar when your opponent grabs your pant leg. And this goes to show that there's really nothing new under the sun. So that's a breakdown of the Romulo guard game, and it's a really complete guard system that you can pick up and start implementing today. Romulo also makes great use of the low guard, which he can switch into and out of the Romulo guard by gripping the pant like this, the sit-up guard, and a mean butterfly guard. You know, even with videos like this, there's still a lot of limitations on what I can cover and the information I can convey. But if you still find yourself struggling to make those connections with your guard or your passing or anything else, Don't worry, because BJJ mental models might have the right solution for you. With over 50 plus hours of audio masterclasses from the best minds in the sport like John Thomas, Margot Ceccarelli, and Rob Bernacki, you gain access to the best BJJ community on the internet, including an exclusive invite to the private BJJ Mental Models Discord, featuring over 70 elite level black belts from all around the world. And I really like their coaching tier, where you receive world-class sparring analysis, get detailed technical feedback from their all-star black belt review team, featuring over 20 world champions, and much more, which you can start right now with a 7-day free trial just by clicking this link. For as good as Romulo's guard game is, this wouldn't be a good video if we didn't take a look at his passing as well. Considered one of the best knee cut passers alongside athletes like Lucas Lepre and Leandro Lowe, I have to argue that he is perhaps the most dangerous knee cut artist of the three. And you guys know, I got the data to prove it. First, let's take a look at his knee cut.
For Juan Marquez from looking, and here comes, it's coming through. He's got that cross face, he's got the hip, there it is.
Oh, such a
He's got one of the best knee cuts in the sport. Now it's knee cut back through. Oh, there's that brutal knee cut with the left hand cross collar.
Just such an easy sweep for Romulo, the way he just comes up and just slides through that guard like it's not even there.
Guard, so knee cut position. Yes. This is bad news. Gojo, I think he's starting to tire a little bit here, Sean. He was breathing hard there, and this is Romulo 101. This knee cutting position. Look at that head pressure. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, right under the chin. Oh, Romulo grinding in there. The knee on the mat already. The guard open. There it is, straight into the knee right.
Did you notice anything? If I had to characterize Romulo's passing, it would be that it's all about making adjustments, adjusting his grips to best control his opponent, adjusting his knee to stave off the half guard, and making adjustments to those adjustments. The most basic grip we see Romulo using is the right hand on the collar and left hand on the pant, or what I like to call the regular grip, which works well when initiating the knee cut. But when it comes down to getting some real work done, Romulo's go-to is the reverse grip, where he switches his left hand to the collar and right hand to the pant. Check out Romulo using the reverse grip to get past the knee shield. And he can even take this up a few levels as well. Moving off the pant grip, Romulo will often go to the hip control, which is pretty much just what it sounds like. From here, his goal is to turn his opponent's hip in towards himself, and depending on the situation, it does not feel good at all. Also using his head, Romulo can force a quick knee cut pass whenever he's short on time, but his usual go-to is the crossface to counteract the hip control for what I like to call a chiropractor stretch, twisting the spine to a degree that the opponent can no longer hold their half guard. The other knee cut variation that he uses a lot, and my personal favorite, is the cross collar grip. We also call this the face crank because, yeah, you crank your opponent's face away so they can't turn back into you. Anyone that's tried the knee cut can tell you that it very rarely just works, because like everything else in jiu-jitsu, your opponent will try to stop you from progressing. In that case, I've mapped out around 4 or 5 different situations that you're most likely to see. But before that, let's see if you can spot them for yourself.
Try to slide this knee through. Sergio with the underhook. Romulo trying to cross face that lapel grip there. So now Sergio is on a single leg. He's got a good single leg here. Down.
Neutralize Romulo's best pass, and I think that's what he's trying to do. The Romulo resisting it. Look how powerful he is.
The single leg guard is one of the more difficult guards that Romulo faces off against, considering this could be with or without the lapel. Regardless, Romulo's main priority is to keep the guard player from standing back up, and he does so by using this major concept. I like to call this the knee drive, and it works by constantly moving in towards your opponent's hips so they can't create space to stand up. And from here, Romulo can utilize different grips to aid him, like this grip over the back. And of course, the passes that I mentioned earlier. Similar to the single leg guard, the coyote guard is where the opponent reaches for the underhook from the half guard. And for this guard, Romulo will often use his knee going into the belly or a 3/4 mount to keep the opponent from making use of their underhook. Following up with the hip control into the chiropractor stretch, or better yet, adding this foot pummel to pass right into the mount or the knee on belly. The turtle guard, or simply turtling, is one defense that Romulo's opponents use to keep him from stabilizing on their side, and this consists of turning into him or away from him. Either way, the results speak for themselves. Deep half guard, probably the toughest guard to deal with, especially with the use of the Bernardo lapel grip, but don't worry, Romulo has an answer for this as well. Again, the thing that separates Romulo from the other great guard passers is his willingness to adjust just to get one guard pass. Watch these clips to see how many tiny adjustments Romulo makes and see if there's anything you can add to your game. The thing that really stands out to me is just how active Romulo is in his passing, meaning that he's very rarely static. He's always posting and adjusting his grips, and getting to the side isn't his only focus. Check out these sequences and try to follow along. Again, Romulo's passing is very attack oriented, and no other move of his has garnered more attention than his cross choke. Often off the same cross collar grip he uses when he's passing, Romulo chokes right from the knee on belly, the mount, and even from within the half guard. Romulo also makes good use of the leg drag, the tripod pass, and even his own variation of the headquarters position. So that's most of his passing game. However, the biggest issue that I found with Romulo's game overall was his tendency to get stuck in the double under guard pass. And there's two reasons that I came up with this. One, the Romulo guard itself and his body type opened him up to getting caught in the double unders. And if you were trying to pass Romulo's guard, the double unders would in fact be the safest position, as trying to pass outright could use up all your energy, on top of being very difficult, like what happened in this match. Or two, Romulo simply doesn't care about the double unders and uses it to wear his opponents down even more, since trying to pass with the double unders can also be very energy draining, so much so that he's even developed an entire double under defense system. As his opponents move into the double unders, Romulo has a few go-to moves like this no arm triangle that he even got on one of your favorite grapplers. This over the back grip that sometimes exposes the triangle, and his most basic defense, which includes keeping his legs heavy on the double unders, while also looking to make his sleeve and collar grips for his Romulo guard. But if his opponents do try to stack him up or try to turn the corner, best believe he will hand fight. Another big thing that I couldn't help but point out is Romulo's history with leg locks, as he suffered several career-ending injuries, but still managed to bounce back somehow, most notably in 2017, when he competed at that year's IBJJF World Championship when this happened.
Doesn't have this happen again.
He's making that difficult for Claudio, but he's feeling it there.
To rotate.
Oh my gosh. That is very, very tight. Romulo feeling that one. My goodness. And that right ankle, John, is very strong. He's actually stepping on.
Many new fans of the sport will see a legend like Romulo and think that he just suddenly popped up one day and started winning everything right from the start. But in doing the research for this video, I saw a lot of things that really gave me perspective. Like all the great athletes you've never heard of because they didn't win a world championship, or because flow grappling wasn't around back then. And that winning isn't a one-off achievement, but something that you have to continuously work at. And Romulo is a champion that embodies this, because even after becoming a world champion, he still suffered many setbacks and losses to make it back to that world champion status, even with all the injuries from competing. Romulo never gave up, all this while also raising world champions of his own, athletes like Edwin Najimi, Gabriel Arges, and Felipe Pena, creating a guard system that bears his name, and innovating a passing style that continues to be effective in today's grappling meta. And it's for all of these reasons that Romulo Barral has changed BJJ forever.